Before we get into the story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. The party pulsed with energy, laughter floating through the room, music blending with the clink of glasses, and people drifting from one conversation to the next. Little pockets of chatter formed everywhere, full of easy jokes and warm compliments, creating a lively, comfortable buzz. I walked through it all with a drink in hand, staying observant without putting myself in the spotlight. But no matter where I stood, my focus never left my wife. Something about her was off tonight. A tightness in her posture, a spark in her eyes that hinted she had something planned beyond a simple night out. It all shifted when her male friend, loud and overly sure of himself, decided to aim his humor directly at me. With a smug grin, he leaned toward me in front of a small circle of people and announced, loud enough for everyone nearby to hear, "Seriously? This is your husband? I thought you'd aim higher." The sting of his words was intentional, sharp, slicing, crafted to get a reaction. A ripple of uneasy laughter followed, nervous but present. My wife's eyes gleamed, clearly pleased with the little scene she believed she had crafted. I didn't take the bait. I let his insult hang in the air untouched, watching the atmosphere shift around us. The laughter dimmed as people sensed something changing, a pressure growing in the silence. My wife's confident smile wavered, confusion flickering across her face. She expected me to crumble, to lash out, to make a fool of myself. She never anticipated the strength of stillness. The quiet stretched out, heavy enough to make the crowd uneasy. The longer I stood there without responding, the more rattled he became. His smirk trembled. The spark of arrogance in his eyes faded into doubt. Everyone watching could feel it, that charged moment when an entire room pauses because something big is about to happen. Then I finally spoke. My voice was steady, controlled, even slicing through the tension with precision. "Tell me, you actually think that was funny?" No anger, no raised voice, just pure authority. Instant silence. The laughter died instantly. Conversations froze mid-thought. Every face in the room turned toward us, drawn into the shift in dynamics. I didn't need to step forward or flare up. The power was in my tone, my presence, the way I didn't break eye contact. Her friend's smirk completely collapsed. He tried to say something, but nothing came out. The silence pressed down on him like a weight, exposing the emptiness behind his bravado. He shrank beneath it, stripped of the confidence he'd worn seconds earlier. My wife's amusement vanished. Shock replaced it. Disbelief, regret, and a dawning sense of consequences she never expected. She had assumed she was pulling the strings. Instead, she was watching them unravel in her hands. I finally took a step forward, slow, intentional, controlled, not aggressive, just dominant in the most effortless way possible. The room held its breath. Guests whispered quietly, their eyes wide, realizing they were watching the moment flip completely. My wife's expression matched the room's, stunned, unsettled, and edged with regret. The man who started it all retreated into crowd, defeated, his confidence shattered. Each step he took backward confirmed exactly how thoroughly the moment had turned against him. The once lively chatter of the party dissolved into a thick, stunned quiet. It took several minutes before anyone spoke normally again, but even then, the vibe had changed for good. My calm command had left its mark, one no one could ignore. Whispers spread quickly afterward. People replayed what they'd witnessed in hushed tones, amazed at how a moment designed to embarrass me had been flipped so easily into a display of control. My wife felt every bit of it, the tight jaw, the wide eyes, the stiff posture. Her regret was unmistakable. She knew she'd miscalculated, and there was no undoing it now. The music eventually picked back up, but the room wasn't the same. People moved differently. Conversations broke off whenever someone glanced our way, and her friend, the one who strutted in bold and loud, stayed quiet and small for the rest of the night. My wife was left standing in the middle of it all, forced to face the fallout of the moment she helped create. By the time the night wound down, the message had been delivered with absolute clarity. Humiliation fades, arrogance collapses, and real power doesn't need to yell. It strikes with calm precision and leaves the room shaken. Her regret in those final moments was a perfect ending to a night, that began with mockery and ended with revelation. Everyone there walked away knowing exactly who controlled the room. And in that lingering silence, I realized something important about strength. It's not always loud. It's not always forceful. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, and unexpected, and that kind of power hits harder than anger ever could. That night, I turned a public insult into a demonstration of unshakable control, leaving my wife frozen in regret and the entire room wide awake to the truth of who held the real authority.